Maja John Madden, I cannot tell from how fuzzy this visual looks in my phone whether it's going to be clearer or not, but I want to capture a couple of things. I have a note I want to make about con men. Two really great movies about con men. One is Catch Me If You Can with Leo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Amazing movie. And I talk about it as occupying the brighter side of con men. This guy never hurt anybody. He took money from people, but mostly not the little guy, banks and stuff. And it's based on a true story. Frank Abagnale, who is a YouTube influencer or something right now. I saw a thing, 5 things con men always do. And the true part of the story is that the FBI agent who got him arrested got him out of prison early for cooperating and helping them find people floating bad checks, because he was awful good at spotting what they do wrong. The dark side of con men is Patricia Highsmith's story, Ripley. Her book is called The Talented Mr. Ripley, and the movie had Philip Seymour Hoffman and a couple of other famous actors, and shows how this guy goes from simply scrambling to stay afloat and make his life work and make a buck into the darker and darker sides where he ends up killing people who either offend his sensitivities or threaten to blow his cover. And there's a new TV series or movie that I'm quite interested in because the movie was very, very riveting. And I proudly own con man as one of my hats. When I went to the country, I was surviving on just a Social Security check, and I had about 4 friends who would, and I no longer had a part-time job, which is what on my Social Security check, which is semi-generous, I always needed a part-time job to make ends meet. And traveling, I didn't have that. And 4 different friends who believed in me and what I was doing would support me with periodic contributions of anywhere from $1 to several $100s. At one point, Tom kicked in $5,000 to get me a camper van. He could afford to do that. In the fall of 21, when I was in Chicago, all 4 of those people hit financial situations where they no longer could really support me. And I was out on my own, and I supported my mission. I kept my travels alive by very resourcefully shoplifting from Walmart. I raised it to the level of an art form and threatened while I was in the U.S. that when I got to Mexico, I would do a bunch of DIY YouTube videos about how to do it. I do almost no shoplifting in Mexico because these stores are mostly really serious about security. I was in a Soriana grocery store and multi-purpose store the other day, big store all through Mexico or every place I've been, that was lax. They had all kinds of things that usually are in little plastic cases that would set off the metal detectors out on the racks where you could just drop them in your purse if you wanted to. But Walmart, oh no. Security with AK-47s, they are super serious. Yeah, and a bottle of Tums in lots of stores will have some kind of a tab that's going to set off the security system. So serious in Mexico. But so that sustained me for many, many months. I would come out of Walmart with anywhere from $100 to $300 of pilfered stuff. Mostly stuff that would absolutely support my mission. Food, clothes, watches, shoes, boots. Yeah, I was good. And proud of myself for doing it, actually. It took some bravery, it took some cunning, it took a whole lot of paying attention to the environment. And I got busted and sent to jail for 8 hours, and 5 hours in Port Isabel. Really stupid, really stupid. And I learned a few things from it. And got chased by cops, ran from cops on three different situations. Not literally chased, but the cops had been called and I made myself scarce. The other thing I did was in New Orleans. I was about to take out my second payday loan. I had taken out one, I don't know, coming down the Mississippi and paid it back at the usurer rate. And I was about to do another one, and as I was in the office in the middle of doing the transaction, I realized all they really check is, does my Social Security check get deposited in this account like clockwork every month? And they get the numbers so they can get their hands on the money first. And as I was doing this transaction, I realized, you just changed where that money's going. You've got a new bank. They're not getting paid. And a light went off in my head, and I thought, you've got a window of about 2 weeks where you could repeat this, buddy boy. And I did. I repeated it another 4 times for a total of $1,000, totally free money. And it was fun. It was fun. It required a high level of lying, pretending to be naive, pretending I never had done it before. And when one store turned out to be part of a chain that is no way indicated that it was owned by the same guy, and they one of the things I found, that one of their secrets is that although they, at least in Louisiana, had to read a bunch of state stuff at the end about don't do this much, it's not a good way to run your finances, they staff them with super nice people that keep people coming back, and it becomes a little community. So when I got caught in the act of lying, just had said, no, I've never done it before. And he says, well, it looks here like our sister store loaned you $300 last week. I said, really? Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know what to say. So did they go all crazy on me and try to call the cops? No, they loaned me less. They loaned me less. So that was a hell of a lot of fun. Only lasted for a couple weeks until my new real account would show up, and I didn't want them getting their hands on that number. But I was proud of it. Resourceful. Con man. Not taking from the little people, taking from the big people. It was a Robin Hood kind of a thing, even though the poor person I was supporting was me. But the dark side of the con man, the Ripley story, that really shook me. Like, you gotta watch yourself. Pay attention, no slippage. No, don't get yourself painted in a corner where you end up doing stupid or destructive things to keep from going to jail. Yeah, okay.